Hi, in this video we are going to tackle a little bit more challenging questions, and earlier we illustrated with a fairly easier question. So now let's try something more challenging, and we can try to solve it with what we have gone through. So in this example we have minus 8 to the power of minus 203. It multiplied by 1 over 343 to the power of 2 over 3. Okay, so there are many ways to solve this question, but let's try to solve this question using, let's say, using the process or flowchart that we had earlier. Okay, so we ask ourselves first, do they have the same base? One is base minus 8 and the other bit is 1 over 343. So the answer is no, they do not have the same base. Now, do they have the same power? Let's take a look at the power. No, they don't have the same power. One is minus 2 over 3, the other is 2 over 3. Well, they look the same. So before we go to others, because it also doesn't fall under any of this. Oh, maybe there's a minus n over here and there's a fraction over here. Okay, so maybe we can do something using this too. Okay, so let's take a look. Right, so first, if it's a negative power, maybe can we get rid of this negative power? Or yeah, maybe let's try to get rid of this negative power. So to get rid of this, we put over 1 over here and we flip the base, so it becomes minus 1 over 8 to the power of 2 over 3. Okay, when we flip the base, we got 1 over a, the power becomes positive. Okay, maybe let's not do anything to this first, because we can see that, okay, we see that now they have the same power. The power is 2 over 3 and 2 over 3. Okay, so maybe we can use some rules that we learned above. So we go back again and see, do they have the same base? We said no. Do they have the same power? Yes, so they have the same power. So now, is it multiply? Yes, it's multiply. So we just take the base multiplied by each other and put the powers outside. So it will just be, oops, let me write some space. It will just be minus 1 over 8 times 1 over 343, so it's minus 1 over 8 times 343. Alright, do remember there's a negative sign here. The powers will remain outside. Okay, so before this is a power, maybe I should write it smaller next time, yeah, because I don't want it to look like a fraction and it confuses. Okay, so before we take the calculator and start solving this, let's take a look at the numbers. We have 8 and 343. 8 and 343. Okay, let's go back to the table that we have earlier. Okay, let's see. Can we find number 8? Yes, we saw number 8 over here. Can we find number 8? It's over here as well. Now we found number 8. What about 343? Can we find 343? So yeah, this table is useful. Oh, there it is. So now we know that 8 is 2 cubed and 343 is 7 cubed. Usually we prefer the smaller base. That means we can either choose 2 cubed or we can choose 8 to the power 1. But the smaller base sometimes are more useful. So we just take the smaller base, 3 cubed. And here is 7 to the power 3, which is 343. Okay, let's go down. And let's take the pen. Okay, so here we know that 8 is 2 cubed and 343 is 7 cubed, as we seen above. So next we have minus 1 over, instead of writing 8, we can write it as 3 cubed. And instead of writing 343, we can write it as 7 cubed. And this is 2 over 3. Alright, so in the next example, we can do a couple of things. Okay, first, sometimes you might not want to have bases like this, so you might want to flip it. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let me create some space. You don't need this anymore because it's hard to see like that in this form. Let's go over here. We can actually flip this back to 2 cubed times 7 cubed. Alright, this is over 1, and don't forget there's a minus over here. Okay, minus. And then because we flip this, the powers from positive becomes negative. Okay, the reason is here, okay, because if you can see like this form, it's a lot clearer than the previous format, and we can solve the question. How we do that is, okay, this is the powers are the same. Okay, what people tend to do is they take minus 2 times 7 is minus 14 to the power 3. Okay, let's maybe just try this method. Minus 14 to the power 3, and then here minus 2 over 3. Yep, this is also one method, so the 3 and 3 will cancel. It's minus 14 to the power of minus 2. So it's just 1 over minus 14 squared. Alright. 1 over minus 14 squared is 196. And that's how we solve the question. But another example is, if we don't want to have 14 square, we can also solve the question, let's say this is method 2, by having minus 2 cubed, okay, and then this is minus 2 to the power over 3 times 7 cubed minus 2 over 3. So if you notice, what I've done here is I'm splitting up this part here into this form. Okay, I'm just multiplying the powers so that it's easier for me to work with smaller numbers. You can see that this is minus 2 to the power of minus 2 times 7 to the power of minus 2. So here you can see that I can multiply the powers, multiply the base because they have the same power, or I can solve it like this, which is minus 2 is 1 over minus 2 square. Because this is a negative power, I bring over, I flip this. This is a negative power, I can flip the base. Oops, I don't need that big bracket. Small one I do. This is 7 squared. And this is minus 2 squared is 4 times 1 over 49. And you know that 49 times 4, this is 36. 16, 196. 1 over 196. So this is also correct, and I would prefer this method because it shows that you know the rules and you're working with smaller numbers. Alright, so this is just one example where there are multiple methods. In fact, there are many more methods to solve this question, and then these are just 2 variations. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.